for marking or celebrating this Theresian centenary. And I bring the greetings to all of you from my General Father Miguel OCD General, and also the greeting from all the cloistered Carmelite sisters of India, because Saint Therese is a cloistered nun. She is not represented here by anyone. Am I right? So there are 38 Carmels in India, and I told some of them that I am going to be present here, and they told me to convey their prayers for all of you. So this is how I begin. And then I am not reading a paper, I am just speaking to you spontaneously, particularly whether Saint Therese is relevant today for you and for me. The OCD Generalate declared 2023 to 25, these 3 years, as Theresian years, to understand for all the Carmelite friars and cloistered sisters and OCDS members how Therese could be relevant. I am just mentioning one or two aspects here. Some years ago, 2021, in 2020 or 2021, a cloistered nun in Italy wrote a book, and this book is called, the title, Fragile Like All of Us, Joyful Like Few of Us. That is on Saint Therese. Who is Saint Therese? Her book title, she was writing about the relevance of Saint Therese, and she wrote, Saint Therese, fragile like all of us, joyful like few of us. Those who know Italian, fragile come tutti, felice come pochi. Now, we are all fragile. I do not know how many accept it. We are all fragile. All of us fragile in different ways. Perhaps we have a label on ourselves, handled with care. All of us. Now we are fragile in various ways. Psychologically maybe, morally maybe, about our relationship. We are hurts, we have hurt. Even spiritually we are weak, vulnerable, sensitive. We are fragile. But in our fragility, we are sad. What this author is saying, how do we react to this fragility? Generally, how do we react is either fight against our fragility, maybe a sin that I am committing repeatedly I like to fight against, or sometimes I want to escape from it, run away from it, or at times I put on a mask. An author wrote a book who was anti-religious, that many times our religious grab, religious habit becomes a hiding place of our fragility. Possible. Now, how Therese confronted her fragility. Now, Therese is also fragile like all of us. There is nothing extraordinary about Therese. Nothing extraordinary. Now, today people venerate the body of the saints which have been not corrupted. In the coffin of Therese, nothing remained. And she said, nothing will remain. She was buried in the public cemetery. Nothing. She was fragile to the core. How was she fragile? I will show you her some aspects of her fragility. When she was 4-year-old, her mother dies. And she says, I became a nervous child, psychological patient I became. Mentally I was suffering. If anybody came to see me, I was running away. I became a nervous child. Fragility. And then she grows up, nervousness becomes more, and she, however, decides to join the Carmel. She joins. If you have read correctly, previous day of her profession, just previous day of her profession, she goes for mental prayer. Next day is her profession. Previous day, during the mental prayer, she gets tremendous temptations. What is the temptation? You cannot become a cloistered nun. Get away from here. You cannot become. So she says, I was terribly upset. Tomorrow is my profession. Then she was struggling. Look at that fragility, doubt about the vocation. And then she thinks in her mind, okay, after my prayer, I will tell my novice mistress. Then she gets an idea. If I might tell my novice mistress, if he tomorrow sends me away, you experience. You cannot tell the novice mistress also. But she says, I will tell her. Now, how she deals with her fragility, that is what I am interested. And she accepts her fragility and goes and tells to the novice mistress. And the novice mistress, she says, understood me more than what I understood myself. My novice mistress understood me more than what I understood myself. She continues her religious life. You are told 9 years. Don't think it was easy. Different characters in the community. Don't think that she was a very good nun. So she said, I was a not very good nun at all. Don't think she was very saintly. Fragility. And then, when she was inside the Carmel, her father becomes mentally sick. And as in today's society, many, she says, I have pinpricks. People talking, oh, your father is a mentally retarded man. And she was experiencing that fragility. Now, how in her fragility she became joyful? She says, I accepted my fragility. The first condition to be happy in our fragility is accept it. She says many times that I feel I am powerless, I am weak, but I am happy in it. So Therese gives us a clue, as the book says, fragile like all of us. We are all fragile. I am seeing some of you are nervous also looking at the time. That is our fragility. When to get up and go. That is our fragility. I understand. But let us accept it. We are nervous. That is more important than we are hiding our nervousness. So Therese accepts and happy about it. Then she says that fragility is a space where God works on it. Look at how relevant for us today. Now the second aspect is one part of the coin. What is the second part of the coin? Second part of the coin is, she says, to come out of it is, become a person of love. Become a person of love. In 1997, Pope John Paul II declared the doctrine of the church. What was the document that was given? Our exhortation was Divini Amoris Scientia. She is a doctor of love. She is the Divini Amoris Scientia is the science of divine love. She is called the doctor of love. Now, Therese brought a revolution, a pendulum shift. I just wanted to tell you in 1 minute how the shift that took place. In the Middle Ages, who was a good religious and who was a good Christian? In the Middle Ages, a good Christian or a good religious was who makes more penance was a good religious or a good Christian. More penance, better religious. Even that continued. You remember the Carmelites had night prayer, put off the light, and they were to discipline. Am I right? Thank God now there is no discipline. When the lights were put up, they would have come and beaten the superiors nicely. He was scolding me. Thank God it is not there. But penance was there. More penance, better religious. Therefore, people started making penance more and more to be a better religious, better Christian. Later there was a shift. Shift was, we need to become more perfect. Whatever we do, we will do it perfectly. So, scola perfectionis. You will find everything to be done perfect. You sleep perfectly. You cook perfectly. You walk perfectly. Everything perfectly. Even you dress perfectly. That was a good religious, good Christian. Shift comes later, which is taken up in Second Vatican and later in Vita Consacrata, Scola Amoris, School of Love. That is, who is a good religious, good Christian? One who loves is more Christian. Does not mean penance is not good.